welcome to your last lesson, I believe.
Maybe.
Okay. Wait, what? Who said?
Next is
Oh,
3D.
I thought you said we haven't started.
Oh,
Okay, so this is hopefully going to be the last one. But even though it's the last one, if you have any questions or doubts when you're working on something, please feel free to reach out. I'll try to help as much as possible. Um, there's not much left. What I was going to do is show you how to calculate dimensions and stuff, few other things which are very useful for you. And then printing, like printing once you made your layouts and everything and having them printed. What? Oh yeah, it's fun. Something that I guess Anthony was trying to do last time. Let me show you something. Let's say you don't have a CAD drawing, but you have a PDF of a floor plan. You can actually convert that PDF into a CAD drawing.
Really?
Okay.
It's key drop.
You can let me quickly show you how to do that. So let's say you have a PDF somewhere and you're like, okay, now instead of having this PDF as a PDF, let me just make it into a CAD drawing. How you can do that? In the top options, you can do it via insert or import, wherever you find import as well. However, there's an option right over here too. Let me just go, it's easy right here. Okay, go to imports. And so in my downloads, I downloaded a couple of CAD drawings and proper floor plans that exist. We don't have the building anymore, but I'm going to show it to you. So moon building, which does not exist anymore, but you can see the PDF right there. If I click open, it'll give you a whole bunch of options over there. Scale, specify insertion point, that's fine. Import as block, no, I don't want it as block, because if it's as a block, everything is going to be as one. But I want it to be like separate elements, everything here and there. As you can see, page size 11 by 17, I'll show you what that means later. And then PDF scale 1:1, everything looks good. Solid fills, yeah. Use PDF, create object as layers, yeah. By default, it's going to be that. I just selected that so that as much as possible, it will try to create layers internally. Okay? Select everything as appropriate. Join the line and arcs, convert solids to hatches, applying line weight, all that. Okay? Click OK and select a point. Yeah, that looks okay. And there you go. Okay, now what is the difference? You can see it's now individual stuff. The PDF has become a CAD drawing, basically.
Oh.
So you can, if you want to edit this door, you can. I don't like, delete. Okay. So, and you can see as much as possible, it created 3 layers. Okay, but at least it's something better than nothing. Right now, if you want this PDF to have your own stuff, you can make a whole bunch of layers and move individual things, I don't know, to it, like what? Test. Color, let me change the color, yellow. Okay, now if I'm going to select, let's say these columns, and I'll be like, move to layer, test. Okay, now you see, they're all part of those layers. Not all, but that's yellow, showing that it's part. So now, once you have a PDF, it's easy to convert it into a CAD drawing. And now you can change it, make it whatever. There's somebody already made a chair and table over there. Do whatever you need to. Okay, easy on that, no questions? Questions? Okay, cool. Now, I'm going to delete that. Now what I'm going to do, I just wanted to open a proper full-fledged CAD drawing that already I downloaded. Let's say the first floor of Moon Building, which is the same as the PDF you saw, but this is actually a CAD drawing. You can see there it has so many layers. There are naming conventions for for naming. I'll give you guys a chart. Just use it. Like the symbols mean something. Like if it's an architectural drawing, you name it like A hyphen wall hyphen what part of the wall. So anything you do architectural, it has to have the symbol A in front of it and all those kinds of things. I'll just give you the chart. It's very straightforward. Just stick it somewhere over here. That will help you in naming your layers, basically. For example, if you're making a new wall or a new or if you're trying to calculate the dimensions of different floors and you want to make a new layer, just a dimension da, 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 you can just name it. So I'll keep the chart over here, just keep it. It's helpful, and if in case you're confused in the future, okay, I'm making something new, I don't know what to call it, you can just use that chart as a reference. Okay, anyway, so now this is a full-fledged CAD drawing. Now what do you want to do? Okay, now let's say you get a task of I need to remodel this space over here, but I need to know what the dimensions are. So that's what we're going to look at today, just making dimensions. So if you see on the left side, there's a whole set of options for dimensions. The first one, dimension command. The second is style, adjusting the styles. And then it's a linear dimension, drop-down menu, there's more, aligned, angular, arc, radius. So whatever object you're trying to find out any dimension for. So if I click the very first thing, what is asking me to do is select objects or specify first extension line. So select an object, that. Okay, it will tell you it's 9 foot 4 1/4 inch. Okay. So, or if I do select that, you can see where it goes, but it's only perpendicular in this way. Okay? Uh-oh.
Can I move it?
Well, I'm screen recording. Okay. So, let's say I want, you have this table. Okay, I need to calculate the dimensions for this table. It's 5-foot table. And there you go. That's it. All right.
Is it, if that one is only bound to the horizontal axis, how can you flip it to vertical?
Great question. Because if you remember, there's an ortho mode which only moves in parallel directions, right? So if I uncheck that, now it's a little more freer. Now let me see an angular dimension. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So whatever object you select, it'll just automatically give you,
Does it keep
give you the dimensions, huh?
Does it keep the dimensions there? Like
Yeah,
as a drawing?
unless you delete it.
Okay.
Okay. So now, but if you notice that for that dimension, you have to, there's an object and you click on it, it'll automatically tell you this is what it is. Now, if you want more freehand, like I want to see, instead of this whole line, I want to see somewhere in the middle, how would you do that? There's a different option. This one, the third one. It says dimension linear. If I select that, then I'm like, okay, that is my starting point, and somewhere in the middle, there you go. So if you want like more free, I want to, instead of giving me a dimension for this whole line, I just want to see from here to here or from here to here, you know, a more freer calculation, use that one and it'll tell you what it is.
Are the dimensions count as one block, so you could just click on one part of it and it highlights everything in it?
Yeah.
And so, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's because you have a different layer for it?
Not just because I have different layer, it should technically count as one.
Okay.
If you want, you can explore individual parts of it. That's a pain. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially
Do not do that.
Especially
Okay. Like for example, now you're like, okay, this big room. Now how? Let's find out how big this room is. So there you go, from endpoint to endpoint, and there you go. It's 48 feet something. Right? And now you want the vertical dimension too. I click on it again. Oh, sorry. There. Come on, where's the perpendicular? There you go. So that's the dimensions. Right? And once you have it, like, you know, let's say you're sending it to somebody and like these are what, you know what, it's too crowded. Can you make it a little more cleaner? Okay. So I just click on it, move it somewhere else.
How'd you move it so fast?
Just select a point on it, and there you go. That's it. You not click and drag. Let's say I clicked on it once.
Yeah.
You see 3 points.
Yeah.
Those 3 blue squares. Select one, and just move it where you want.
Oh, sweet.
That's all. Okay. Simple, straightforward dimensions. Okay. Now, if I have a brand new drawing, like now I had, let me just do something. Okay. If you see dimensions over here and I start from there and there, it looks something like this, right? It's very different than what that is. And you're like, I don't like this. I want to change it. So you can change it. How do you change it? The second option, if you hover over it, says dimension styles. That's where you change how your dimensions can look like. If you notice, this one has arrows, the other one had that, cross hatches, whatever. Okay, I sometimes do like the arrows, it's nicer. So you can click on that. So standard, because this is Mac, here you have to click on the setting stuff. Once you click on it, it's going to give you a few bunch of options. You can modify the standard. So that's what we're going to do. Unit format, decimal, no. I want architectural. Great. Round off 0 inches, that's fine. Okay, symbols and arrows. Yes, I do like arrows. How big do I want them? Maybe 4 inches. Okay. Text. Standard. Yeah, text height, maybe a little bigger. Maybe 3 inches. Okay, close. There you go. Okay, so depending on what you need, now you may be like, oh, that's a little too big now. So again, you can go in there and change it. The more different styles you have, if you want, let's say you don't want to change the standard. I want to have my own. Let's say Joe is like, no, I have my own style. Joe.
Joe style. Ooh.
Okay.
Text style.
So text height, no, I want like 2 inches. Oh wait, I did not finish editing it. Arrows. He's like, you know what? I don't like arrows. I'm gonna do right angles. Okay, arrow size maybe 3 inches again. And text, I think I just did that. And yeah, change whatever you feel like. And architectural, yeah, alternate units, it doesn't matter. Okay, select. Close. Set current. Okay.
Is this specific only to this CAD drawing, or is that
To
set
this
at
CAD,
default?
no,
Oh.
this CAD drawing. There you go. Now that's Joe.
Nice style, Joe. Okay.
Cool.
So
So yeah, if you feel like you want to make your own changes, your own style, something that is a little different, you can go ahead and do that. Any questions on dimensions so far?
That's 3 feet and 1 3/8 inches.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just made a random rectangle, so I don't know. Now, same for other objects too. Now you have a table. You want to find out how big this table is, or what's the diameter. So for that, just there's a few different options. So drop down, not a few different. There's only one. Now, what do you want? Do you want a radius or do you want a diameter? Just select whatever it is, and select your circle, and that's it. It's 3 foot 6 inch. Oh wow, I did a decent job. 3.5 foot table, basically. That's what it is, right? But that's the diameter. Now, if you wanted the radius, again, I drop down, and that's my table, right? So there you go. Radius, it's 1 foot 9 inch. Questions? Doubts? Issues?
What was that last thing? It was radius?
Yeah, so what depends on what you want.
Radius
Do you
and
want to see the
diameter.
diameter or the radius? Radius is like half of diameter.
What's that circle with it?
This, it's
Oh,
a
that's
symbol
what
for
diameter
diameter.
is. Oh, got it.
Okay. All right. Now let's say you have let me remove that, and another. Oh, there you go. Another line like that. Now you like two things. I want this angular line measurement, and I want the angle. Okay. So drop down, aligned. Start from there. Endpoint. There you go. Just the standard straight line is not going to work. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let's say you just had the standard linear dimension, and you're like, okay, I want to find. You see what it's trying to do? It'll give you the linear dimension, not the angular. You want the angled line. So for that, select the aligned one.
Helps you find X.
Okay? Questions? Cool. Any questions anywhere, please feel free to stop me. And then same, if now he's like, oh, somebody's like, okay, but I want to find out the angle for this thing. Drop down, angular. First line, second line, and there you go, 32 degrees. That's it. Okay. Questions? All right. Anything else? Let me see. Oh yeah, like, we made chairs and stuff. Let me bring those in. Let me see the door. Okay, now it's like, okay, I want to see the arc of this door. So just look at the arc or the length of the arc and stuff. So there you go. That's it. So basically from this point to this point, that's the length of the arc. Okay, usually arc measurements are not that common unless you're trying to do something very, very specific. Nobody's really going to ask you, but it's good to know where it is. Okay, and center mark, center line, I think I spoke about that a long time back. Do I need this dimension break? No, I think that's fine. Okay, the other thing, let's say if you want to make your own notes and keep it somewhere, we looked at it very briefly. Just like how the dimensions work, there's another one called like leaders. Basically what they do is this. You can make a note for yourself. I want to start it from here, take it over there, type your text. Difficult. Save. But you can see like, whoa, I can't even see the thing, and where is this a line, or is this like for me trying to make a text? What's going on? Again, the one on right next to it, it's the same like dimensions. You can change the settings, so it's the manager, right? So I'm going to use that, modify. Okay, so what should I do? Arrowhead size, maybe 4 inches. Leader structure, that's fine. There should have been a text size somewhere too. Content, there you go. Text height, 5 inches. Okay, save it, close. Oh, there you go. Now it makes a little more sense on what that is. So this is useful. Let's say when you're making a drawing and you want to have notes somewhere, not just dimensions, but like, what did you guys do here? Let's say you broke, in an older drawing, you broke a wall down and you're going to put a new one. So you can create a layer with the old wall structure and write a note there. In 2015, it was demolished by somebody or something. If you're making upgrades, changes, it's nice. You can use that. And there was something I showed you guys some time back. There was where'd it go? Not that. There you go. The cloud. I didn't click it. There you go. There you go. So the cloud stuff is usually represents, unless until, let's say you're making a whole outside view campus layout and you're trying to make a bush or a tree or something, where sometimes using the cloud is. Now imagine there's like, I don't know, if I take that, it looks like a tree. But you see what I'm saying, right? But unless you're trying to do something weird like that, usually they use the cloud stuff to represent thoughts or notes, ideas, concepts, or something like that. Okay? Questions? Easy? Okay. Now, printing and layouts. That is going to be something very important. Now let's say you made all this. Let's say this is something you guys made. And now you want to print it out, create a few different layouts for it. So there's 2 kinds of spaces in a CAD drawing. As you can see in the bottom, one says model space. Model space is the space where you make your model. Self-explanatory. And the next is the layout. Okay, what you're trying to show on paper. That's the difference between model and space. Model is the creative space where you make your stuff. Layout is the space that is going to show up on a piece of paper. Okay, so what it means is like whatever's in the model does not always have to show up on the piece of paper unless you want it. Now what do I mean by that? Okay, let me delete this and then okay. So how to switch between model and layout? Easy. Model's right over there, layout's over there. Okay, now let's say I want to show, let's say somebody's like, okay, in the drawing, I just want to see the washroom, okay? Just the washroom and the room next to it with the tables and chairs. Let's say somebody asks you that. Okay, there's two ways you can do that, but the most convenient way, in one drawing, I want to show those two separate spaces. Like, I don't want to see this middle space, but I want to see this space and that space. Okay, how are we going to do this? Go to layout. You see, it's basically showing you a piece of paper. That's what it means, right? Now, what size paper you can change if you want to. How do I do that? Right click on the piece of paper. Going forward for the rest of the whole drawing, you can adjust it, or you can adjust just this one. Let me go to the whole, like, going forward, I'm going to change the layout one. Okay, edit. Alert, no extents in drawing, could not say, okay, that's fine. Okay, this paper size is 8.5 by 11. I'm like, oh, no, I would like a bigger paper. 11 by 17 is good. So I select that. Okay. When you're making a layout, keep this rule in mind. And it's not always, you can change to what you know. However, it's best to keep it 1:1 ratio. What that means is, depends on what you want. So if you want the drawing to be exactly represented in the paper, then keep it as 1:1. Okay, I'll explain that in a little bit. Let us first just simply look at it. So here it's asking me what to print. Obviously, I want the whole layout. Or you can click on a window and it's going to select what window it is and stuff. We'll look at that later too. But right now I'm just selecting the layout. Okay, scale 1:1. Yes, inches. And you can select, when it says plot style, do you want it to be monochrome? Means it's going to print it black and white. If you want color, you select the ACAD DLT. There's a few, just play around with it. There's a grayscale too, if you have your own something else too. Monochrome means black and white, okay? Now in the printout, like in your drawing, when you're making a line, you can, like the very first lesson, you can select weights, thickness and everything in a line. So if you, do you want those things to show up? Yes, so that's what that means, print object line weights and stuff. So a thick wall is going to look thick in the print as well. Basically, that's what it means. Okay? It's a lot of info, but yeah. Okay, select whatever, everything looks okay. And right now it says print or none. I'm just going to select PDF, from the drawing to PDF print. Okay, cool. Close. Now you see the paper size got bigger. It was not the same. Why it went from 8.5 to 11 to 11 by 17. Okay, but what is this? There's no drawing in there. Now I want to put my drawing in there. How do I do that? Simple. Right click. There's something called viewports. Okay, think of it as like, whoever's seen Doctor Strange, you're creating a portal for stuff to enter through. That's basically what it is, right? Yeah, so either a new viewport, fine, I'll name it whatever. You know what, just viewport 1. Okay, I selected it, nothing happens. So what you do is, from where to where, in this diagram, what did I say before? I want to show that washroom area and the area 2 spaces next to it, which had the tables and stuff. So let me make my first area that I want to show, which, okay, maybe half of the page. Okay, that's where it's going to show up. But it's showing me the whole drawing. I just wanted the washroom. Here's the weird, this is where that Doctor Strange analogy works. You double click in it, you enter that space, zoom in.
Ah, sweet.
Okay. Yeah, just about there.
Is that in the basement or first floor?
That's first floor. Okay. Now, there's 2 commands you need to know. If you ever forget, just think of it. You're in layout mode, which is paper space, and the model is model space. So now you have that. Now if you zoom in and out, that's what it's going to do. It's like, oh, but I want to go out of the view. I don't want this view anymore. Okay, just type P space, which means paper space. And now you see it's different. So now you're not in that portal anymore.
How do you go back to it? What's the
Yeah.
paper space?
Either, there's two ways. Either you can double click, or let me go back out, P space, or you can type M space. So now you see it's gone back into it. M space means model space, P space means paper space. Okay? Model space. If you forget the names right there, model, oh, I'm looking for model space, M space. Okay?
Gotcha.
All right? If not, getting into it is easy. Just double click. You can even see, you can pan whatever you want and show whatever you want. Right? So now I'm going to go back to the outside space, which is P space. All right? See, now it's different. Now the other thing I wanted to show over there was the room with the table stuff. So I'm going to create another viewport. Okay, viewport 2. And I'm going to maybe start with what happened? Okay, viewport 1. There you go. Maybe from there to there. And this time, oops, it didn't work because I was not in it, right? Double click, you enter into the space, and there you go. Now you could have, when I was trying to make the viewport, let me remake it. Command Z, delete, delete, there you go. Let me remake it. How about I just make it that big? Okay. Now I enter it. There you go. There's a little better. So you can adjust it. Let's say it's like, it's a little too big. So I'm going to go back out, P space. Select this. Make it smaller. Select that. Make it bigger. Go into it. Like, there you go. Okay. Now, basically what you're saying is like in this particular building, which was Moon first floor, there you go, there's your washroom and there's your room. Okay, and now I want to print it. Print. As you can see, that's how it will show up, preview. Right? Actually, let me send it to. Oh, I'll have to, in this computer, I'll have to add that thing. Who cares? Okay. Basically, that's what it is. So there's two ways of printing, right? So either you can do that, or another easy way, if you're like, you know what, I don't have time, I just want this one particular room with that weird dimension over there. Just go to File, bless you, Print. Okay. Page setup, print, no, model, and drawing to PDF. Now, here's where the window stuff works. What to print? Window, okay. This is what I want. Now you see? Or you can do that too in print too.